originally, when you first appeared on Trick Daddy's Nann, like you weren't really a rapper before that.
No, I was not.
What were you doing before you showed up in that video?
Before I did the record with Trick, I had finished real estate school.
Okay.
I was about to do real estate. It's something that I just liked a lot, and I went to school for it. I had got a little job at this little real estate company, ERA, and I was working at this office, and it was a couple of weeks, and right before I was about to show a few properties, Trick called to ask me to do a record for him. And I was like, what do you mean do a record? It was not more so like come and be a rapper. It was more like, I need you to just talk the talk. Just be fierce, talk trash, like really like dominate me on the record because it's a female versus a male type of situation. And I honestly thought he was kind of nuts, but I was like, okay, I'll think about it. And then the next day, I remember me and my friends, he called and he was like, come by the studio, I'm going to cook. And Trick's a great cook. So we all went over and went to the studio. And I heard the record, I was like, whoa, this is like out of control. It was just so raw. And then he was like, come on, you could do it. And I was like, okay. And then we went in the studio and we did it. And the rest was history after that. Slip and Slide was calling me every day. And I was like, I don't want to be no rapper. I don't want to do this. I'm doing a favor for Trick. And it was just like nonstop hassle.
Did you write Nann yourself or did Trick help you out?
I wrote it. He did a few parts of it, but I wrote the record. He just kind of assessed. It was a little, my version wasn't as explicit. So where you hear like the most dirtiest parts of it, he came in and was like, not change that. We need to say this. It needs to be dirty, dirty, dirty. And I was like, are you sure? So what about my mom? What is she going to think? And then he was like, no, trust me, this is it. And that's how it happened.
I mean, the whole like quick deep throat dick.
Oh my, I said that. That was me, but I said it was a little kind of different. I'm not sure exactly what I said at the time, but it wasn't as explicit as when he came in and said, I like that, but it doesn't really show how girls need to really like handle a dude. And then we kind of reverbed it a little bit, and that's how it came out with the dirtiest verse of it.
Have you ever danced yourself?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so
I was like out of high school, and one of my friends had went to this place. It was like a cabaret spot, and you couldn't get naked. You just only could have on like the hottest outfit or whatever.
Bikini kind of.
Yeah.
Because I remember these pictures that kind of surfaced at one point.
I had on like a bra, like this little top and this little bathing suit thing or whatever.
Yeah, you were kind of like twerking, kind of like.
I remember.
Yeah. But they kind of came and went though. Like it wasn't like.
Because it was so fast. I was there for it wasn't even a week. It was like, This is not for me. I just thought it was like, okay, I'm going to make a whole bunch of money. I'm going to do it and it's real sexy. It's almost like burlesque. But then it really wasn't like burlesque. And I was like, nah, this is not for me. And I was like, I'm out. And that was just that. And I let it be.
Okay. So
yeah, but it was interesting. It kind of, I think it was more of a sexy kind of sex appeal kind of thing. Like, it was a daring thing. I was like, oh, if my friend could make this much money, I'm way flyer, or I could definitely make this much money. That was the ammunition of it. But once I did it, I was like, nah, it's not for me.
I feel you. So what's next for you besides this album?
The album, tour, my focus is the album, really. The album is one thing. The album is one thing to go on tour next year. I have a couple things I'm working on. Just a new clothing line, perfume line. I have a champagne that I just got endorsed with that I'm excited about from a company out of France. It's called Liquid Gold. What else? The TV show, just in the talks to make sure that happens. Just a bunch of stuff, just branding. It's all about the branding of me and the things that I'm involved in to make it, feasible for myself and the album.
Who's on the album in terms of guest appearances?
I have a few features, not too many.
But you haven't actually released a track listing or anything.
I haven't released a track list, and I haven't really gave out who's on the album because it's kind of sacred. But I will say that the next record I'm going to drop is featuring Rico Love. It's a dope record. He's an amazing artist.
I love Rico Love.
He gave me
people sleep on Rico Love, I feel.
I think because, you know what it is?
It's the weirdest thing. Like, he has so many hits under his belt and people still sleep on it.
I think with Rico, it's kind of like how when Kanye started, like being a producer under Jay, and you just was known for making the hits. And then we tried to transition to the artistry. People were like, yeah, it's cool, but we don't.
That's that producer. That's a rapper. That's a rapping producer.
Exactly. So I think with Rico, he's such an amazing songwriter and such a dope producer. So to come from that, like you write hits for celebrities that are huge.
Usher.
For everybody, for Usher, for Monica, for everybody, and then to come out for yourself, it takes a while for the fans to grasp that and to know who you are.
Because I know Rico. Like we've interviewed him and we actually kind of stay in contact a little bit here and there. And I remember hearing French's album kind of late, and I remember hitting him up. I said, "Why isn't Drink Freely a single because that was such a dope
Amazing,
song. And he's
amazing.
he's like, you know, he's like,
song.
I think it didn't have like all the big features. You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing. See, I think artists get stuck in it. I need a feature to make the record big.
Yeah.
That record was an amazing record with no features, none whatsoever.
Yeah, just him and Rico Love.
Yeah, amazing. Rico, trust me, his time is like rising. You know, the project that he put out, his album that was free, given away.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
amazing.
Oh, okay. He released that. I think the more he just constantly come out and assess himself, he's gonna be one of the biggest artists of our time. I definitely believe that.